and welcome to MusiCity Kids. My name is Tamara with Love in a Big World, and we're here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. Today we're talking more about humility. And humility is not thinking too much or too little of yourself, but just being glad to be who you are. And sometimes when we're walking in humility, we have to understand the big picture of what's going on in this big world around us and set aside our own preferences for the sake of the greater good. So we're going to dive into that today. But first, let's get moving with Jacob from Hand, Eye, Body. Stand up and let's go.
All right, well, I'm going to show you a move called the curl today. Now, we learned before this move called the figure eight. That was in the previous episode. Well, the curl move is going to build on that, but instead of being in front of our body, it's going to go and a curl like that. So here's how you learn it. You're going to take the ball, rest it on your hand. You don't want to grip it. Now, if you need to, you can grab it. That'll help you learn it, but the real move is have it balanced on the palm of your hand. It's easier if it rests right where your fingers connect to your hand, not on the palm, not on the fingers, but right where they connect. So you're going to bring the ball towards your waist like this. Now you're going to keep turning until you can't go any further, and then you twist around. Now did you see I moved my body to the side, right? You lean your body away from the side that you're doing the curl, like that. And then you're going to transfer it to the other hand and try to do it that way. And keep going back and forth like this. This is a great warm-up. It gets your shoulders, it gets your arms, it gets your back moving. It's a great way to warm up before you play or just as a good stretch in the morning. It's a great way to relax as well as you focus on getting the move right with the ball. And if it drops, just pick it up and keep going with it. You can put on some music if you want and try it that way. How'd that feel? All right, so that's the curl building on the figure eight. If you notice, the figure eight has a similar pattern of the curl, right? See, I'm holding the ball. It's kind of doing a figure eight pattern like that. That's why we did the figure eight one in front of you first. So work on the curl and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Jacob. And next, we've got some health tips from Dr. E.
Hey, Tamara and friends. Well, today I'm out in the park with my nephew, Brennan, and we were talking about humility. And so I was asking Brennan, what does it mean to be humble? And so, Brennan, when you hear the word humility or you hear humble, what does that mean to you?
Well, humble means when you are giving positive thoughts to somebody and you're basically hyping them up overall and making them feel better about themselves.
Okay. And so also part of being humble is also recognizing what your strengths and gifts are too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So knowing that you have strengths and gifts and that other people have strengths and gifts as well. And so being humble is really important as an anthropologist. In fact, it's one of our greatest qualities that as anthropologists, we oftentimes will live with people. Sometimes we'll live with people for a year and do what we call ethnography. And so we're living with people and part of people's lives so that we can learn more about what they think and learn more about their life ways. And so that requires us to understand that even though we may have studied for a number of years and know a lot, we don't know everything. And because we don't know everything, it really requires us to be humble, to recognize that other people know a lot of things too. And that if we are humble and we listen to what people have to say and we pay attention to what they do, that we can learn a whole lot from people. So not only can we hype them up when they need to be hyped up, but then also we can learn and recognize what their strengths and gifts are, just like our own strengths and gifts, right? Yes, sure. And so this week we're going to encourage people to try being humble, and being humble by recognizing what your strengths and gifts are, and also recognizing what the strengths and gifts are of other people around you. And when you do that, That's helping to spread love in a big world. And so until next time, we'll see you later.
Part of understanding the big picture in this big world is getting involved with our community. So here, with this moment about civics, is our friend Harry Allen from Studio Bank.
Hello, I'm Harry Allen. I am the co-founder and chief relationship officer of Studio Bank. I have 3 young kids. I'm proud father. I serve the community. I grew up in Nashville and take every opportunity I can to give back. I've been the president of the Downtown Nashville Rotary Club, very active with the Center for Nonprofit Management and serve on their board of directors, as well as a trustee for Belmont University. So I'm so glad to be with you today. So let's talk about responsibility. I've got 3 kids, 9, 8, and 4. And even at their ages, we're talking about how to be responsible, how to take care of the things you have, whether they're toys or schoolwork, and being stewards of the resources that are entrusted to you. That's what I think about when I think about responsibility. The more that you are responsible, the more trust comes your way. If people can think that when I encounter Harry, he's going to be consistent in how he treats me, he's going to be responsible with the things I give him, which in my case as a banker, it's their money, so I better be responsible with it. The more I demonstrate that, the more that they give respect and responsibility back to me. And so it's this give and take. And as you're walking through the halls of school, or even as you're learning in virtual settings these days, think about how you are showing up with friends and teachers, and how you can be responsible. I'll remember that on a daily basis as well. So this has been a lot of fun. I want you to remember how you show up in the world, and make sure that those encounters that you have, intentional and accidental, are ones of warmth and kindness, and that you leave an impression after you've left a place.
Thanks, Harry. Next, we've got a new friend who's written a brand new song just for Music City kids. Let's welcome Caley.
Hey Music City kids, I'm Caley Chapman, and this song is about having purpose in life, having a good life. This is called Bright. 1, 2, 3. Just when you think that nothing is going right, and feeling sorry for yourself becomes a state of mind. This world is a kaleidoscope, every color imaginable, so why you trying to be so blue? Ain't no limit but the sky when you up and realize there's nothing stopping you. The future is gonna be bright, bright. Keep on looking for the silver lining. I can promise you're gonna find it. Oh, the future is gonna be bright, bright. We all got baggage, but you don't have to carry those chains. Standing under a storm cloud, you'll get caught in the rain. This world is a kaleidoscope, a million shades so magical, so why you living in the dark? So what to do, what to say, hate to make a mistake. Start by being who you are. The future is gonna be bright. Keep on looking for the silver lining. I can promise you're gonna find it. Oh, the future is gonna be bright, bright. future is gonna be bright, bright. So keep on looking for the silver lining. I can promise you're gonna find it. Oh, the future is gonna be bright, bright, bright.
Thanks, Harry. Next, we've got a new friend. Thanks, Caley. That was great. And friends, you can be on MusiCity Kids too. Yep, that's right. Send me an email at tamara@loveinaBigWorld.org to find out more information. We're always looking for people just like you to submit their music and to also host our By Kids for Kids segment here on MusiCity Kids. So again, get in touch, tamara@loveinaBigWorld.org. Now here's your book suggestion for today. You know, it's really important for us to keep reading. It helps us grow strong in mind and heart. So check out Peaceful Heroes by Jonah Winter and read the chapter about Paul Rusesabagina. He is an incredible hero that models humility, not thinking too much or too little of himself. This man, he really kept the big picture in mind and put his own preferences aside in order to help others. When the Hutus turned against the Tutsis in Rwanda, Rusesabagina kept his wits and used his hotel as a refuge. His bravery saved the lives of over 1,000 people. So as you read this story today, think about what happened in Rwanda and then how Rusesabagina helped the Tutsis. And then think about your big world. Rusesabagina said, "Being human is a mission of each and every one. What I have done is what all the people were supposed to have done. So there's no special lesson." This man was really humble. What does this statement mean for you and the challenges that we're all facing in our big world today? With COVID, the election, distance learning, and all the things that are happening, what can you do to make a difference? All right, next, we've got some science and math with our friend Steve, all the way from South Africa.
Hey Tamara, it's Steve here from South Africa. Today we're going to be talking about math and something scientific. One thing I want to know is, have you ever gone outside to look at the stars? You know, when you look up and you see those beautiful bright shiny lights, you think to yourself, I'm looking into the future. Well, actually you're not. You're looking into your past. Now you're probably wondering, how is that possible? So let's backtrack a little bit. We'll do this in small chunks. If I go outside and I stand on top of a mountain and I go, hello, and I hear, hello, coming back, that is my echo. And the reason why it takes a while to travel there and back is because sound travels from one spot to another, hits the wall, and bounces back. We could measure that distance and how long it takes, and we can work out the speed of sound. Now we use the metric system, so for us, sound is 330 meters a second. Now, what about light? Does light travel at the same speed as sound? Not at all. In fact, light travels so quickly that we have measured it to be 330,000 kilometers per second. What I'm really saying is that light is 1,000,000 times faster than sound. Now, why is this so important? Well, the moon is approximately 300,000 kilometers away from Earth. So if you go stand on the moon and switch on a bright light, we will see that 1 second later. So the moon is 1 light second away. Our sun, if you were to switch it off, we would only see the darkness 8 minutes later. Why? Because the light that's traveling from the sun, it is so far away that it's going to take only 8 minutes to reach us. And now when you look at a star that is 10,000 light years away from Earth, it means that the light traveling at its incredible speed will take 10,000 years to reach us. That is how far away that star is. Which means that when you look at that star at night, you are looking at the light that has just arrived from 10,000 years ago. Whew. That is very far away. So hopefully you've learned something new today. That when you go outside, you look at those stars, you're looking back in time. You're looking at history right in front of you. That's what I've got for you today. Straight back to you, Tamara.
Thanks, Steve. You always make math fun. All right, next we've got a new art project from Miss LaWanna. Check it out.
Hi everyone, it's Miss LaWanna again. Good to see you. Hey, I've got a really fun craft I want us to get into today. Now, as you know, fall is my favorite time of the year. I love the weather. I love apple cider. I love all things pumpkin. And so we're gonna do a craft today that is another item or character that is associated with the fall weather. You know, fall is also a time of harvest, and it's typically when the farmers go out and begin to harvest all of the vegetables and plants and everything that they've been planting all year round, that they've been taking care of all year round. And now it's time they're all grown up, and now it's time to harvest all that great food, fresh food like corn and beans and all those wonderful things. So that's really one of the other things that fall is associated with, is harvest. So this craft we're working on today has something to do with something farmers do. Let's get to it. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna need about 10 to 12 popsicle sticks, yellow, orange paint, and craft glue, and a marker, and your paintbrush. So let's line them up, the popsicle sticks, and you're going to glue these together in one big piece. So spread your craft glue on top. You can use your finger. If you don't want to get messy fingers, use a brush. And just spread it on top. And make sure they stay lined up because we're gluing them all together. And you're going to have to give this some time to dry, so you're going to put it to the side. Just a quick little tip. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I'll use the hair dryer to dry my crafts faster. Okay, now it's dry. One big piece. I'm going to dry off my paintbrush and add some yellow paint. I'm going to paint the entire thing a light coat of yellow paint. All right. Okay, take that extra last popsicle stick, add some craft glue, and put it across the top, just a little part across the top. And we're going to paint that orange. I wonder if you can tell what this part is going to be painted orange. Maybe after we apply the eyes, you'll know what it is. Put that to the side to dry, and use our construction paper to draw some circles and cut those out. That's going to be our eyes. Let's put our eyes on with a little craft glue, okay? Any guesses yet what this is going to be? I know in a moment, as soon as we draw his smile, you'll know. Okay, and it is a scarecrow. Now I'm gonna take some old newspaper and cut up some little strips and stick them together with craft glue and add them to the backside, and it's gonna look like stuffing or maybe even hair for my scarecrow.
Thanks, Steve. You always make math fun. Here we go with some spoken word from the team at Love in a Big World.
The confidence instilled in me, deeply embedded, a gift from a supporting family, fueling my self-esteem and overflowing creativity, giving me assurance to reach for passions that dwell in a place that may seem unattainable, finding that success is within my grasp, that I can hold it in the palm of my hand, understanding I add value to the spaces I enter and they add value to me, and knowing this is because I am blessed, that I am not the gift, but the gift was given to me to make room for me and bring me before great people so that I may humbly also share with others and open my heart and mind to receive the gifts that are meant for others to share with me by those who can teach me, reach me, sharpen, enlighten, and edify me, for I am a student, a sponge, ready to soak up water poured from the village around me to build community, bigger than you, bigger than I, building we with humility.
All right, so we've been talking about humility today, not thinking too much or too little of ourselves, but realizing that each and every one of us has a special role to play in this big world, and we've got to look at the big picture, put aside our own preferences, and realize that we have a part to play in order to help others. Think about this. From Cornell West, never forget that justice is what love looks like in public. And justice, my friends, is doing right by others. And in order for us to do right by others, we've got to get ourselves out of the way. That's humility. Not thinking too much of ourselves like we've got it all, and not thinking too little of ourselves like we don't have a part, but realizing that each and every one of us contributes. And together, we can make a difference. That's it for MusiCity Kids today, where we help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time.